The city of Palm Springs has joined forces with the county and healthcare leaders to launch Blue Zones Project. The goal is to improve the well-being, health, and happiness of our community. I spoke in depth about the project with former Palm Springs Mayor and City Council member Geoff Kors, who will serve as executive director. All right, Geoff, tell us about the Blue Zones Project in Palm Springs.
Well, I'm thrilled that it's going to get launched. I was just hired as the executive director, and we'll be hiring 3 other staff, Palm Springs residents, hopefully, to work on the ground in Palm Springs for the next 3.5 years, focused on the health and well-being of our community. And I can't think of a much better thing to get to work on than that.
For folks who have never heard of Blue Zones, what are they?
So Blue Zones is an organization, but the name comes from research that the founders of the organization did 15 plus years ago, funded by National Geographic, to look at the places in the world where people were living healthier longer. And there were 5 they found around the world, in Japan, in Nicaragua, in Greece, in Costa Rica, and one close by in Loma Linda, California, where the average life expectancy in Loma Linda for men is 89 and women is 91, way above our national averages. And what ended up happening initially with funding from AARP, they looked at whether what they learned, what was common in those different locations around the world, could be replicated in the United States to do community-wide change to help the health and well-being of the residents. And so they did 2 initial projects back in 2010, one in Minnesota and one right at the beach cities here in California, Redondo, Manhattan, and Hermosa Beach. And what they learned was they can do that through community-wide efforts, through policy changes, through working with the community, with engaging residents, with engaging businesses and employers, the school district, governments, to make the healthy choice easy and affordable for people, so that people have access to healthier foods, that people can walk and bike safely, not just for recreation, although that's all, of course, a plus, but to get to work, to get to school. So that's the kind of stuff that they found was really successful, and the results speak for themselves. The Gallup Health Index shows great strides and improvements in the communities where Blue Zones has worked in the country, lower healthcare costs, less absenteeism at work. So I'm really excited that Riverside County Public Health decided to trial this project in several cities in Riverside County, and Palm Springs is one of them.
So I'm curious, I know it's early, but what specific changes do you see happening?
Right now we're launching the discovery phase. In fact, today, national policy folks from Blue Zones will be going around the city with me, meeting with stakeholders, seeing what's going on. And there'll be community input over the next several months. There'll be meetings, there'll be an online survey, because we want to align with what the city wants, what our residents want. So it's hard to know exactly what the top priorities will be, but just looking at other cities, the efforts made on active transportation, complete neighborhoods, making sure and helping restaurants have healthy, more plant-based options, not to take away anything, but to add some other things. And those restaurants then get certified by Blue Zones, and people can go in and know, oh, here's a healthy option if I want to choose that tonight. I'd like to see us work on some protected bike lanes, in addition to all the bike lanes that Palm Springs has been adding, getting a grocery store in the north end, but really also helping end isolation and loneliness, which is prevalent among a lot of people, and eating healthier foods.
Anything else you would like to say about all this, Geoff, before I let you go? And if people would like more information, where do they need to go?
Right. So they can go to the Blue Zones website, and there are also 3 jobs that are getting launched today. We'll have a policy lead, we'll have a community lead, and then we'll have someone who works with organizations, employers, and the school district. So there'll be 3 great jobs here in Palm Springs for people who are passionate about our community and want to improve health and wellness.
All right, Geoff, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Peter.